Hello everyone, this is the CS Revelation. Welcome to a new video on Java. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create your first Java application, how to compile and run and generate some type of an outcome. In addition, I'm going to also emphasize on Java comments and the system out print statement. Now, to create a project, you could either go to File, New Project, or you could simply click on the icon here, the shortcut here for new project, or you could use the key combination Control-Shift-N. Let's click that and make sure you choose the Java category, and the project is a Java application. Click Next. Here you could choose a simple name for your project. I'm going to call this First Application. And then here I'm going to check this option here, which is going to create a main class. There will be some generated code that is needed. So instead of us typing it, it will be generated for us, automatically generated. One more thing about naming your project, it's recommended that you avoid spaces. Make sure you use one word. And also for the project location, you could change the default location, which is in your documents, to a location of your choosing by clicking this browse option. Now click finish, and this is going to create a new project. Now, of course, here you notice that you have all this generated code, and we are going to go through that code one piece at a time. Now, on the left side here, you will find your project. This is first application. This is our project. And notice that we have a source packages. The source package is includes all the project files. So we only have one file here, which is the first application.java. That is this that we're looking at. And you can add as many files as you want. Now, to keep it simple, because this is our first application, we're only going to have one .java file. Now, this code here, on this gray code, that is all comments. That means it does not execute, it does not run. All it's serving is to explain something about the code or to render some code inactive. That means it does not execute. The only code that's going to execute that is not gray color. So this line of code here automatically generated to say that this file, which is first application.java, belongs to this package, which is called first application. And then we have the main class. This is the class that was automatically generated earlier for us. And it includes this method that is called public static void main. Now think of the main method here as the kitchen of your house. That's where everything gets to be prepared or cooked or executed. Everything, all the code that is going to be executed by your application must be typed within the brackets, the boundaries of the main method. Okay. Now I could simply eliminate all of these gray lines here because they're all comments. So we can eliminate those and we can eliminate this. Also, I wanted to mention here that in Java, any section of code has a beginning and an end. So for example, this class here has a beginning, which is indicated by this opened curly bracket, and it's matching closing curly bracket. So this states where it starts, where it ends. And this main method here starts here and ends here. That means the code or the body of this method starts here and ends here. Now, more on this when we get to methods, the topic of methods. Now, for the first application, let's find out how we can print something into the console window. This is the console window in which we're going to generate some type of an output. Now, if you type system and then you use the dot operator, it's going to give you all these options that you could choose from. We're going to be outputting, and therefore we're going to be using the out object, and then we click dot, and then we could choose any of these methods. Okay, so now today we're going to talk about the print line and the print statement. So the print line statement, it's either that you double click it or you could simply type it. Java is case sensitive. Make sure that you are using the right spelling. If it's caps, it has to be in caps. If it's lowercase, it has to be in lowercase. So this is helpful when choosing from the drop-down menu. Now this statement here, which is called system.out.print, is waiting for you to type some text or some value. So when this program is executed, it will be printed in the output console. So I could simply type here, hello, CS Revelation, right? So I could simply type that and then click. This is the run button. You could click that and that's going to run the project. Also, you could press the F6 and that's going to execute your application. So here it says application is built successful. And this is the outcome. This is the output, which you only have one line of code that's going to generate some type of an output, and that is the result of it. Now, of course, this is a print line statement, and you can have as many of these. So I could also do this. I can add another print statement in which I'm going to output, say, hello again, right? So I'm going to say hello again. And now we're going to have two lines. We have hello CS Revelation and we have hello again CS Revelation. Now these are two output statements that generated two lines here. Now notice that each one of these lines is printed in a separate line, right? So that is because we're using a print line method. If this was print and not print line, it will print on the same line. So you notice here that the two outputs are on the same line. Let me explain here is that the print statement here, or the print method here, what it does is going to print this text, but what's going to be printed next has to go on the same line. So it controls its execution, and it controls the execution of the next line of code, of the next print. So here, this print method is going to print hello CS Revelation, and also makes sure that any other print statement or printout that's going to happen next has to be on the same line. Notice that this is print line, but it only controls the next print statement. So if I have another print statement, and again, right? So if I had another print statement, this will go on a separate line. That is because this said, print the next line in a new line. So I run this, notice I get this in a new line. But this print statement has the powers to control this next print and to make it on the same line. Okay, so if I make all of them just system out print, all of these lines will be printed on the same line. And if I make them print lines, they will be printed on separate lines. Okay, so that is the difference between a system out print and a system out print line. Now let's talk about comments. Now Java comments can be used to explain Java code. So for example, I can use a single line comment by putting 2 forward slashes and then typing my comment. So that is to explain, let's say, what this code is all about. So I could say this code explains the difference between print and print line, right? So this is not going to execute. It's just here for me to understand this code and what it does. So it's really more about explaining the code and not to be executed. So if I run this, notice that there's nothing other than the output of these 3 statements. So this is just a comment. Now comments can be single line or could also be a whole paragraph. So, and also I just wanted to mention that comments are used to explain code, and also it could be used to prevent the execution when testing, let's say, alternative code. Say, for example, we're trying to only find out the difference between a print statement and a print line statement. Okay, so say we have only these two lines of code and we want to only execute one at a time. Right? So if I wanted to make the execution of just the first line, I can comment this out and that's going to print this. And if I would like to comment this out and execute the next one, then I will do this. Okay, so this is also used to prevent the execution when testing alternative code. Now, here we are only experimenting with single line comments, but you can actually comment out a whole paragraph, a whole set of statements by using the / that states the beginning of the comment section, and then asterisk and the / to state the end of the comment section. So notice that the color of this has turned gray, and that means all of this now has become a comment. So notice there's no outcome or no output. It only tells us that it's build successful. There's nothing printed because we turned these two lines of code into comments. So that's called multi-line comment, and it starts, like I said, with the / asterisk and ends with the asterisk / And there's also one more thing that simplifies your programming lives, I would say, that NetBeans provides. So if you are, let's say, like tired of typing those symbols to state your comments, you could simply highlight the code, and here there's an option that has the two / so you can click on that and it will comment out all that code. Okay, so that is about comments in your first application, about print and print line statements. This is the end of this video. There will be more on Java, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.